The following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Hello, Internet. Welcome. Hello, Deadly Dutch, Dibitsa, Urinuku, Ivok Kebab, Hazy Boy. Hello. My condolences to Gerry tonight. He's in the studio, doing stuff, potentially making content. Who knows? I hope you all have a lovely day. I'm on my second day off work, and I'm still not settled down. So to help me achieve that, I'll first be cleaning my glasses because I'm not seeing very well. Crispin! Hello, person from the other side of the internet. Yes, I am. On leave, or however you want to call it. And I hope I will be in a relaxation state sometime the end of the week. I'm not sure how about you, but I usually take a fucking long ass time to get down and settle down and get really mentally disconnected from work. Didn't help that I had to work for 2 hours yesterday, but then again, yes, you did mentioned something like that, Crispin. And if I recall correctly, somewhere rather southy-like. But if you're somewhere close to Bremen or Hamburg airport, you might just pass me overhead, so just drop a like. Demons up, that's a question I ask my wife all the time, and she's a professional as an optician, and she has no answer to that as well. Jill, welcome. Yeah, that's about 500 kilometers that way, which is basically south. Oh, just gives me a heads up that I'm actually in-house. You might scare the children. Where's... But because summer has started, and it's still, like, outside temperatures are relatively acceptable right now. Inside, it's still very warm. So, cheers. I hope you all are having a lovely time doing hobby. I, for my part, have done something. And this will be totally useless to you because it's way too small, but look at that. Look at these tiny ones. You will be seeing those at the end of the month. I think if Crispin would be here, we would... interesting party. Oh, booking a last-minute trip. That's nice. I hope it's going to be a relaxing trip and not something that's very, stressful. I'm afraid that is impossible, Demon Sub. This chair has a max weight capacity of 100 kilos, and I account for 90 of those. So, no. Jilden, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that your weekend will be smooth as silk. Well, if you Sam Height, we might just go outside and let you sit on the swing. Yes, I'm a chunky boy. No, I'm not going to stand up. But then again, these 90 kilos are, what do you call it? spread over 183 centimeters, which is, I think, about 6 foot, if I memory recall, if I correctly convert that. Let me get a calculator. Let's see. Yep, 6 foot. Well, I'm guessing the 183 have now been reduced to 182 because of age and wear and tear on the spine. No, I have not seen Superman. To be honest, I'm not sure which was the last Superman I actually saw. I think, yes, I'm pretty sure it's what was with Christopher Reeve. Not have seen any Superman movie after that. I've seen the TV series Lois and Clark, but that's about it. I think Superman had a dog almost like 60 years now. Crypto the dog has been a part of the comics for ages. My thoughts exactly, Demons Up. Reeve is the best Superman, and if only because of the very special costume. Also, I feel he's done very much work on the dorky reporter side, Ken. I don't know about Bad Dog or Bad Cat, but I know that Crypto had been part of comics I've read as a child, and it was basically just a white dog with a Superman cope. So a cape cope. Why did I say cope? So, regarding today's non-topic, but the title of the episode, let me just put it out here, even if you already heard it and read it from me on other places. I highly thank you, Tom, of OTT, for getting the website up and running on a current status. It's faster, it has some quirks, but it's faster, and at least for me, it has been very reliable since the update. Which only shows updates are needed. Update your websites, people. Yes, the forums are functioning again. We can see things past page 2. It's glorious. It's working. Now I'm guessing the alcohol talking will be in about half an hour. The man on the radio today said because we have some very weird weather conditions, people might tend to get aggressive, forgetful, lazy, mentally exhausted. Did I mention forgetful? Yeah, Danley, I'm pretty sure we will see some errors still popping their ugly heads. There's still this weird can't load implement thing when going to the forums, but all in all, I wouldn't have thought that it was actually possible to get the site on a current version of WordPress as a backend without everything going to shit. So that he managed to get this thing this far. Way to go, Tom. If that didn't earn you a nice Christmas bonus, I don't know what. Truth be told, I haven't tested the project system yet. Might do that later tomorrow or whenever I got. I feel like it because time I now have some degree, maybe potentially. if I'm not on taxi duty for the daughter. So we also already seen that Jill is not doing hobby because she's doing important, making sure the weekend is nice plans. The rest of you, you lazy gits, are you doing something? Anybody doing hobby? Or are you just here listening to my voice waxing lyrical about stuff which I have no clue about? Oh, and today, at least today, I noticed my friendly, not local game store has whatchamacallit, put up the pre-orders for the Star Wars Legion card packs. So I might be putting in orders in near time. Danley did an hour's painting earlier before the show. That's very nice night. Crispin painted a miniature for a coworker. A Rainbow Knight robot. What kind of robot did you take as a basis? A Battletech one or some generic gunpla? Dave is going with 10 mil orcs. Hello, Zoc. No, 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 no. Not gunpla. Not Battletechs. Or a colorful C3PO. Oh, a very much custom miniature. That's nice. Yeah, Hero Forge is a nice tool to have. Oh, speaking of tools, have you seen today's Let's Play video on Tabletop? It was called. Let me just check. No, that's the wrong site. You go away. Excuse me. Oh, come on. I just praised that the site would be fast. Tiburu Dungeon Sword and Sorcery. It's a Let's Play with Gerry and Shay, and they're playing a board game which uses a nap a whole lot. I'm pretty sure Gerry is feeling not so well. Maybe that's why he's still in the studio and doing videos rather than being here ranting about using an app for a game. Iwakibak is painting Japanese for a friend who can't be bothered. Well, I'm pretty sure you can make him do something you don't want to do. Yes, Dutch, I've seen the Lawscape Pledge Manager is now live. I think I'll be checking in tomorrow or the day after when I more collected my thoughts on what I want. Justin needs his beard. See, Crispin, it's not just Justin. It's, well, at a certain weight class, that comes as a free bonus that your throat, chin, and face start to meld into one, and you start to look like King Kong Bundy. For your younger audience, Google the WWF wrestler King Kong Bundy. Just look at that face. I mean, that man looked from the neck up like a torpedo and from the neck down like a Christmas ball. and this very interesting choice of clothing didn't help. so besides Gerry partaking in a let's play of a game that's relying heavily on some weird electronic device, I don't think there has been very much high-level news currently. Question mark? I didn't see anything. Every new clone doesn't start with a bit. Have you heard any news currently, or recently, or since last Tuesday? I, for my part, had not really felt much of things going weird, except for ridiculous Kickstarters. Oh, and even that Lloyd said his shed would be dry. I think he's lying. We haven't seen the inside of the shed yet. So, I don't think we can believe him when he says his shed is dry. He's a suspicious little one. Yeah, I'm guessing that's the summer sinkhole of news, potentially. Or maybe it's just because currently nobody really knows what to do because of weird tax and tariff situations. Excuse me. No. That's the heat catching on. But we know that Ben is back because what has been there on news on OTT has been mostly done by Mr. Ben himself. Hello, Mr. Wonky Goblin. Welcome. Yeah, Jill, I'm sure you're correct on both accounts. It sounded like he turned his shed into more like a storage shed. But let's face it, that's the problem we have as a hobbyist with most free space that becomes available. It becomes storage space immediately. And Gen Con is a place to tell news. No, fire save or Legion. I hope not. Why is my hair so wonky? Coding Jesus versus... Oh, God, please, no. That's some... no, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm very happy that the petition for the EU has passed the million signs marker and is now needs to be discussed. And well, it's all weird, and it's not even hobby adjacent. I'm not sure about any of you out there, but ever since what was it called, Hard War, the most recent game by the young lads on GameFound, was it Hard War? I think it was Hard War. I'm not sure. Let me check. Yeah, Hard War. Ever since that release, I somehow feel completely unaffected by new stuff that hasn't been already established. I simply don't care anymore. There is so much stuff coming out, left, right, and center. I'm just, I need a break. I'm stopping purchases of new stuff. I'm just keeping to games I know and already have played, and it's just madness. And I'm not sure how some people even can keep up just by the sheer volume of stuff that's been pulled out of shelves. You say that, but it always feels like it when people are starting to go around talking about the newest shit. And I know that's a subjective thing. And I'm not talking about the YouTubers and the influencers who are selling stuff. It's yeah. Sometimes it feels like everybody's just yapping after the newest, bestest thing. Nah. I'm officially done with that. Maybe something will catch my attention again in the future, but currently, I'm happily waiting for the new core boxes for Star Wars Legion. I'm painting my Frostgravy stuff. That's it. Uh, Walking up to be fair, if it's an easy beer and pretzels game, I might have the urge to try it out. But everything that's getting more complex than roll dice, push miniatures. Sorry, there's just no more time and energy in my life for yet another game. Well, that's the easiest way is to find someone who will play regularly with you. I think that's the main reason why I'm currently sticking with BattleTech and Frostgrave, because I have my mate uh, Carsten who's going to play both games with me happily, and it just works. The hardware rules sounded simple in theory, yes, but then again, there's always a catch in that, and it's it's just yet another gritty dark future themed game. It's sorry, it's nothing special. It's nice models, yes, but there's nothing that makes me drool over it. So, and that's from a sheer marketing standpoint outside of any other input than looking at videos on YouTube. I might love the game if someone would teach me it correctly, but I have no interest in learning a new game on my own. Oh, and speaking of skirmish games, I still need to put. No, I'm still waiting for the the Becker kit starting for the Drunken Orc game to get my not Judge Dredd orc. Yeah, having thoughts about Modifius is one thing I've heard more often than not, but as long as there's nothing in the way of they've eaten children or something really bad. So if they're just a company doing odd business, that's 80% of them. And yes, I think it's a wee bit generic in parts. I think it's Dice Kids, yeah. Oh, Simon, I think is we can forget about Simon as a board game slash miniatures company for the foreseeable future. I think that ship has sailed. And Catalyst Game Labs, yeah, they're doing BattleTech, and I've seen, was it on some YouTube channel, an unboxing of the BattleTech Gothic box, and that's all I've seen from that in the entirety. So ever since that initial, ooh, what is this? What is Catalyst Game Labs doing? I think that hype train was already. I mean, had I think they would have fared better if they had and box actually put out with the announcement. But well, if they haven't mentioned it on Kickstarter, we all know the Kickstarter isn't managed by Catalyst Game Labs anymore. At least from what I understand, their latest updates in more recent times. But then again, to be fair, I don't care anymore. I got my Kickstarter sent to me. My pledge is complete, and that's it. I'm not going to give them any more money via the means of crowdfunding. And I think that's part of why I'm stopping or not getting excited for anything new anymore. It's just, yeah, that's it. If you have to wait that long for your stuff to come around, your motivation just gets a shot in the knee. And wouldn't it been for the very easy paint job of black and red? Probably mine wouldn't be painted yet either. But since House Recall was so easy, it was a very quick. Yeah, it's a train wreck. The Kickstarter for Mercenaries, but not as bad as the one for what was it called? The airship one with the zeppelins. That's even Leviathan. Was it Leviathan? I think it was Leviathan. Uh, that's bro. Anybody who backed that thing, my condolences. I really hope that they will make something at some point in time. It's madness. Oh, I don't even know if the Voltron RPG has passed any level of funding goals or if that has been quietly pulled back. It might have just vanished into thin air. Let me see if I can see on Kickstarter the Voltron. Internet is very slow today. Voltron role-playing game. Well, it's past its 25,000 goal, but only by 140,000. Well, there's that. Yeah, Wonky Goblin. I think you'd be better off if you don't do a crowdfunding anyhow, because if you look at any interview from somebody who has done a bigger crowdfunding, and that's despite on if it's on Kickstarter or crowdfund or wherever, it's always a nightmare to control and manage. So just keep it low ball. Selling your own prints, I think, is the best way for the foreseeable future. Maybe find a company printing miniatures in other regions of the world so that you don't need to ship overseas, and make some kind of business license deals with them. But that's your decision. I'm not talking into your business there. Hello, Mr. Gerry. Welcome. I hope your evening is now started correctly and is not too hot. Production update July. Yeah, they still get updates. But do they get their stuff? Who knows? Zork, what spaceship games are you referring to? I'm not sure I'm aware of any spaceship game. At least not on crowdfunding platforms. I mean, coming back to me ranting earlier because of I can't be bothered with new games anymore. The I think this was the most recent video of Uncle Adam where he talks about FOMO and is all zen-like and doing weird voiceovers. Yes, I'm pretty sure he's. I'm almost 100% on with him on that topic. Just don't give in to FOMO. Don't. It doesn't work. It'll just tear you apart. Our demon sub that's a thing. Yeah, Dave Taylor does deliver. That's true, but at the same time, the hardcover was rather expensive for people outside the UK, if I remember correctly. At least there's something I said to myself. Nope, can't justify that expense. Speaking of justifying expenses, lads, ladies, lasses, and everything in between in the audience, here and later on YouTube, I need your help on a very, very serious topic. As you might or might not be aware, in about 3 weeks' time, I'm going to turn 50. And my wife is asking me about what do I want for Christmas? My birthday. I have no clue. The only thing that comes to mind is Talking Miniatures, the books, and yeah, they seem to be only available directly through Warlord, so I should have guessed. I should have put money on the table saying Gerry is going to say multi-award winning Moonstone. Oh, no thanks, Jill. I think I have enough Skelly-Bobs for now. I should have known. There's no serious question I can ask you, Lord. We spotted your best friend on the weekend, huh? Demon Sub, I was thinking as well, but I can't find any distributor in Germany for Life No Money. I really can't. I've taken the ISBN and there's no shop selling it, which is weird because if you got an ISBN, usually that means some bookstore might carry it. Did I miss something on the weekend? Or did I just not get it because of a language barrier? You might hit me up with a time code, please, so I can look what you're talking about. Oh, it was in the comments. And I will have to look at that later. Oh, was it the weird friend, quote unquote, who's angry at you because of your belief system you're attached to? I've seen that one. And I don't think it's a Karen. It's a twat. Now, since Lloyd seems to be on the show more often now, Gerry has the opportunity to get some links for Indie of the Week with very small images. Joe, that's the most weird comments are from people who have not watched the video and just talking shit. If you want to complain about bringing politics into a video, you might comment beneath this video, because I do that all the time, because I'm a very political person. Believe it or not, I have strong opinions on politics, and some people don't like them. But for whatever reason, I haven't had any weird comments in my comments so far. So yeah, that's the bunny. Yeah, Demon's Up. It's if your own world is so small that you got nothing to be happy about, all you see is other people's happiness, and you want to destroy that. So they are just sorry excuses for whatever. Well, you could have just told him to go play in traffic, as you always do, Gerry. That would have been sufficient. Twat's gonna twat. That's pretty much it. Ban the life of Brian? Who'd do such a thing? Do we have a prisoner called Brian? People are the worst. And I do say that with almost 50 years of experience. Oh, I'm pretty sure Crispin will disagree with that, Dutch, but that's a matter of taste, so. Crispin, I'm pretty sure, is talking about different movie when it's about the best movie ever. Petey Wheatstraw! Release Brian! Is it funny to you when I say his name? Bickus. Dickus. You know, he has a very beautiful wife. No, in fact, I did not know, Gerry. Do you happen to know which three movies they banned of him? There might be the need of a highlighting of said movies. People debating with the Monty Pythons. Grand. I'm almost certain there's what was it called? Brazil. That's an odd movie for a Saturday night watching experience. Oh, and if you want to have a real nice laugh, go look up the eulogy of oh, what's his face again, of the Monty Python, the first one who died of alcohol poisoning. Graham. And John Cleese is taking the opportunity to say "fuck" on British television. Graham Chapman, thank you, Gerry. And in a eulogy, it's just, ah, it's so heartwarming. Our Demon Sub, you really should rewatch it again, and just make sure that it's not Tuttle. It's I feel you need to watch Blade Runner, Brazil, and Brain Dead in any order, and it still would make perfect sense in some odd way in my brain. Yes, you might have some brain damage after that for yourself, but who cares? We're all going to die eventually. You haven't seen Brain Dead, you've missed one of the greatest movies of all time. That's such a over the top, nice little movie. Yes, Gerry, very true. Not going to share that. Um, I actually read Do Android Dream of Electric Sheep very recently. I think it was last year for the first time. And yes, Blade Runner is part of that universe, but not the movie, not the book. But it's a great story. Good night, Dutch. Mind the nicest double feature in cinema history I've seen personally was a double feature of Brain Dead and Meet the Feebles. So Demon's Up. I'm not going to repeat that on screen now. And next thing you know, Gerry's going to talk about Call of Cthulhu again. Or as he calls it, I'm not going to say that either. Because we're a politically correct podcast. And just in case you wonder why my head starts nodding, I've got a music background that's very hard on the riffs. See? See? Demon Sub loves the dick and Gerry loves the cock. That's why they get along so well, because they each love their cock and dick. Somebody also loves balls. Is there anybody for balls? Yeah, I've heard that one too, Zork, part of the alien universe, but that somehow stretches my mind a wee bit. Brain Dead Lord of the Rings is a jump for a director. Yeah, but there have been movies in between. Let's not jump to conclusions. Though that would be a funny double feature. Brain Dead, Lord of the Rings. Go. Outlander. Well, that's a movie I haven't seen in I don't know how many years. Uh, that's the one where Sean Connery is the weird marshal on a whatever space station, if I remember correctly. Oh, that's Outland. See, there's my confusion. What's Outlander? It's modern. Let me check. Can't see my keyboard. Don't know a thing about that. Nope. Oh, hold on. Outlander, isn't that the weird love story triangle thingy? So Demon Sub is considering Outlander part of the universe. Yeah, that's Outland then, Demon Sub. Outlander space magic and Dark Age. Yeah, it's portals between stones and peoples and kills having their way with ladies from the 50s. That's a crossover. Yeah, Outland. That's the one I was thinking of, and Demon Sub obviously too. So yeah, Outland is definitely fits into the Alien universe, especially in regards of design, aesthetics, and looks. All two of them, Jill. He actually wears pants. Hello, Nick. He's pretty much all covered up, if I remember correctly. Again, it's been ages since I watched that video that movie for the last time. No, it's not Zardos. Oh, don't make me laugh, people. Laughing is hard on the lungs. Speaking on the lungs, Gerry, I hope your coughing and your coughing up of phlegma has gotten better now. You still sounded a bit coarse on the weekend on the XLPS. Only a little. Now that's very reassuring. Mate, you need to take care of yourself. As with all of us, you're not getting any younger. Well, if it's your own, it should be rather in and out, I think. How was the rule of thumb for calling an ambulance? Only call it when things come out that should be in and things go in that aren't. You know the drill. Yes, Gerry, I'm pretty sure that's the ticket. Smoking will keep away the invisible demons. It's like with what do you call it? When the witch doctor comes to your house and blows incense all over the place. Hello, Moustache, welcome. Smoking and drink balance the humors. Well, we are back into, what is it, 1800s? I'm not sure you have noticed, but this podcast, this stream has been currently been something, everything, but hobby. So why? People on YouTube, you might to consider coming here and read what chat is writing. I'm not reading that. That's horrific stuff. I think I need to start banning people for that. They're actually talking sense. Yeah, but why do you need me for your chats? You could just chat on your own, and I sit here and watch some prawn. Oh yes, painting gnomes is absolute an offense. Your little ones are a sword to my eye. I'm an enabler. If you start talking to me like that, young man, we're going to have a word. The delay on the phone app is very long. Well, I can't help for the delays. I'm not responsible for the delays. The tobacco patches are meant to kill all viruses. Are they? Really? I think some people should just plaster themselves with that. That would solve some problems, wouldn't it? Give the orange monkey a patch on the back, or 2, or 3, or even 5, 6. And you know what's the best thing about being off work? I could sit here, in theory, all night, having one beer after another, until I'm either passing out or need to pee so hard that I end the stream. That's somehow philosophical. Need to do a stream to undo a stream. Almost perfect. It would be much perfecter if the room temperature was below 27.8 degrees Celsius. But, well, I'm not complaining. I'm just quietly sweating my balls off. So if at any point you hear a plonk, that's when the balls are off. Yes, never cross streams. The man next to you on the next urinal would take that very badly. At least that's what I've heard. Oh, yeah, we're having a wee bit hot currently. So I'm hoping your plans are more chill. I still feel threatened about Crispin telling me he's coming to Germany at some point in the future. Nice try, Nick. Nice try. The thing is, A, there's fucking no space for a hot tub in here. And B, if it's a charity stream, I'm not going to be able to keep the money, so where's my incentive? Unless the charity is myself. That would be very charitable to myself. Though to be fair, I've thought about doing longer streams for 1 or 2 times, and I never really got around to have a full concept of things. There might be one very, very spontaneously somewhere in the future, so you never know. Interesting. No, sorry, I can't do that. I wouldn't. It's, and you all know that. Um, if I would be doing let's say a charity for children's hospital, whatever, no. If I did something similar, uh, I might do a fundraising stuff for, let's say, buy me a new GPU. That would be a thing. But still, I feel there's people out there needing money much more than I do. But that's a discussion for a completely different topic, and maybe one we should do when I'm absolutely sober. Yeah, Jill, I do understand that. I'm guessing a stream that is about 8 to 12 hours long will be quite exhausting for me right now. Even if I do try to remember how it was to be on guard duty for more than that. We're not getting younger. Well, Wonky Goblin, at any point in the future, you should go to Essen. It's a nice convention. It's fucking huge, so you better plan in more than one day. Good night, Demon Subs. See you next week. Boats on the coast. I'm not sure I'm getting that reference, Zorg. What is that referring to? Is your stream maybe delayed a wee bit too much? And are you talking boats or ships? Do they have rigging? Uh, I'm not sure ships are that. What are you saying they are, Jill? I think you might pulling me pants or legs. What was the expression? I think pulling me leg. No, I don't believe you. I think you're actually trying to put me in the wrong direction. I think what you are talking about is cows. See? Gotcha. Cows is the woolly thing. No, mammoths! Mammoths, that's the one. Mammoths are woolly and running around hills. Running around the hills. So, everybody burned their torches already? The guy going to... Oh, Crispin! Crispin is going to Europe, yes. Potentially. Or was it Wonky? I can't. I'm already losing track of time and mind. Nick is planning to give Gerry a round base with a mast glued to the middle of it and a bunch of ring on it. Well, if it's already on there, I'm pretty sure Gerry doesn't give his jinkers tis. If you make a build your own set of it with building instructions demanding rigging, that's a different beast. I'm not saying you should do that. What did I say? Did I say Tinker's Jizz? Who cares? I have no knowledge about the English language. I can say whatever I want. Also, I might be under the influence. Oh, so I'm intentionally moving letters around, and I'm getting told off. But when Gerry is talking about ossifers, it's okay, yes? That's not very nice of you. You all got on the list. You all got on the list. The list. We haven't had the list long. Where's my list? It's an accident. Oh, bloody hell. You're not letting that one go, are you? Well. In my head, my accent sounds perfectly fine, and then I do a re-listen to any of my recordings, and I go, my God, dude, what are you doing? Trying to tell? What words are you using? No, that's wrong. Ah, bad automod. I'll allow it. Yeah, that sounds about very relatable. To be fair, it's one thing to just grab the vocabulary and another thing to um grab a hold of how the language is living and breathing. And I'm pretty sure even some folk may disagree that there's still many things to learn. And to be fair, some things are not learnable. You just need to experience them. So live and talk with people of other languages to get a grasp on how syntax is sometimes misused on purpose. Yeah, I think the Scots do it on out of spite, just to annoy any English. Let the Wookiee win. Well, to be fair, if you have lived in Germany for any length of time and you start to hear different dialects going from north to south, there are some dialects. No, you fail to grasp them even as a language. They sound so weird. Oh, I need to put my leg down. My leg is starting to falling asleep. So good, not good. Also, might I just suggest to the Twitch chat auto mod that quote unquote stupid foreigner is nothing to be worried about. I think there are worse slurs out there than stupid foreigner. The Wonky Goblin has a weakness for Scottish accents. I'm not sure if that's a compliment, Nick. Listening to Justin, Gerry, and Shay keeps me connected to my roots. I'm running on fumes. Today's episode is brought to you by Ken number 2. And it's not even brown lemonade. Oh, people, and don't tell Gerry, but currently there's a little trouble in the, what you call it, supply chain on my local store, and I'm currently not getting my brown lemonade. And of course, I'm only saying that to give Gerry the false sense of security. Next week, there will be a whole box of brown lemonade. The only really bad part about doing an extra long stream is uploading that thing afterwards. That's going to be a nightmare. Oh, hold on a sec. I need to restock my cooling can with fresh cans. Just in case I get more thirsty after the second can. Cool. So, Gerry, as you are in chat and you can only type, how was the Let's Play with what was it called? Tiburu Dungeon and all the attached weird electronic things. It depends, Wonky Goblin. And that's it. I'm not going to go any further than this. Because if I would, I might have a problem with my co-host next week. That is, if Gerry is available next week and not in the studio, tied to a monitor. And maybe he wants to keep his comments on the weird computerized board game to himself for next week. But to the question, to put the question that Wonky Goblin did to out there on YouTube land, does anybody love just square bases or also round bases? What's your favorite base size? Put it in the comments. Yeah, I think it always depends on what your miniatures are supposed to display. Squares are great for rank and file. Rounds are nice for skirmish games, but in the end, it doesn't matter. I think even at some games it really does not matter at all. Just look at Blood Bowl. Who gives a toss if a Blood Bowl base is square or round? I feel the only game where base shape actually is part of the gameplay are games like BattleTech. But that's a whole different can of worms. I wonder, is there any game that uses uh, 8-sided dice bases? I mean, there's round, there's hex, and there's square. But 8-sided, I don't think I've seen any game using 8-sided bases. Billion Suns. That's the weird game with very odd ship scales. In Blood Bowl 2nd edition, this 40 mil square base had to be used with a large monster. Hello, Centerfolded. I have zero knowledge about Warhammer past 40k past 6th edition, but ask away. The audience might have an answer for you. Though, judging by today's audience, I don't think anybody is here really actively playing 40k. But ask nonetheless. Maybe Gerry has an answer from the back of his mind. Wonky Goblin, if you're saying if you have rules for facing you can't reuse around, I challenge you to look at the larger bases used in Star Wars Legion. They are round, yes, but they have notches in the front and the back, and they have firing arcs for facing made onto the bases, so you can use different sized bases. Is it the perfect solution? Probably not. Isn't oh, what's it called? Infinity. Yes, that's the one I was thinking too. Doesn't Infinity use also facing? And I'm pretty sure they do. Oh, welcome to the pain train, Centerfolded. You've chosen to get into a game where the company has chosen to work with FOMO and yeah, this isn't an easy way to answer. Even if it's not FOMO, like Gerry is saying, it's Games Workshop does a lot of stuff, but resupplying not everything, and it's complicated. Nobody can tell you besides Games Workshop themselves. If you really want certain items, I'd go to eBay to look for used sales, or rummage around various online shops that may have stock left. Other than that, try looking third party. Unless you want to play tournaments, then third parties will, I think, not be allowed on Games Workshop's turf. Yes, sorry. Even though Games Workshop makes the most sold game in our hobby, it's easy to get in, but that's it. If you want to know more, or if you want to have a more condensed feedback, you might want to go over to any community forum and ask there if people have suggestions for alternative models or stores that might sell old stock. Currently, I could really forward you to ontabletop.com, which has a now working forum. Well, Wonky Goblin, that's some interesting Offer you do, but be aware, Games Workshop has lawyers. I think centerfolded, your best options is actually the secondhand market to see if somebody is selling old stuff they don't want anymore. But I can't say if that's going to be rather cheap or if Games Workshop will eventually re-release models for that line in a different material. There's a possibility, but no guarantees whatsoever. Thank you and come again. The forum's alive! Well, it's one step above live support, I feel, now that it's actually working properly again. And I really do hope it will see more use now that it's not taking ages to put up stuff. I feel besides RTW, is there any... Does Bits of War? No, they only do orc stuff, I think, and Space Marines. Does Wargames Atlantic do anything similar to Drukhari? Oh yes, please YouTube, do continue playing music. Thank you very much. I still am baffled about the weird names Games Workshop have invented for their races. Drukhari. That's probably true, but then again, I'm not sure they sell more or less miniatures because of that. It's just silly. But then again, it's wargaming. We're pushing around tiny fighting men across the table, painted with more or less talent. Well, orc arms are something wonky goblins that's, I think, very generic, unless they have the very distinct weapons Games Workshop have made for their own orcs at some point. I'm still waiting for Games Workshop starting to sell STLs with a limited reproduction counter. I mean, technically, 3D printing should be at a level now that they can offer print on demand for old sculpts by just doing a scan and putting them up digitally. I wonder why they have started doing that. Yeah, it's recasting 2.0 at this point, Wonky Goblin, scanning models and selling them. That's probably true, Jerry. Even though I'm pretty sure if there would be some kind of format that's oh, what do you call it? uh brain lacking information. Proprietary. It's if it's a proprietary format that only works on a certain kind of printer that is maybe only used in-house. So not selling STLs, but just selling the prints. That would be a way to go. Also, I wouldn't say never. As soon as 3D printing gets cheaper than making a mold for plastic injection and then using that X amount of times, I'm pretty sure Games Workshop would switch to 3D printing. It would mean one less step after digital creating a miniature, but I feel that's 5 to 10 years away at least. Unless there's some revolution in the 3D printing market with all your ones and zeros. Yeah, cheaper and quicker. That's the thing. But since the market has been growing exponentially, it already has gone a lot cheaper and quicker, and quality has been increased. I feel that there's a tipping point in the future, in the near future, where companies might shift. I feel like Cast has been on the forefront of that. Yeah, but how many goblins do you do on one build plate there, Wonky Goblin? I don't think I've seen Unicorn resin. Is that the resin the lasses use uh, for Sux's little goblins? It does, Denley. Sprue casting is very quick, but at the same time, the making of the tooling is very expensive, and that's why plastic models are still what they are. Is it a classic resin that is getting cast, or is it a 3D printed resin, Gerry? I mean, like Jill says, the most resin print are still out for judgment if they really survive a long time. And here's why metal miniatures are superior to everything. They don't degrade as much. Plastic gets brittle as fuck. Metal doesn't. I'm not even sure if the metal beneath the paint is still oxidizing and rusting in any way, shape, or form. But I don't think it's that bad in comparison to how printed miniatures are aging. I mean, we've seen cabinets of exploded resin miniatures with uncured resin inside. I'm not going to have that. Yeah, but you only get lead rot at those parts that are exposed to air. So if you seal it up, theoretically there shouldn't be any rot because there's no air that interacts with your material. And UV light just discolors the paint at the worst. But plastic is getting brittle over time. Bismuth. Well, okay, if you're using odd materials that are not great. Now, you don't need to paint them, you just have to spray coat them with. You could just go with clear lacquer. Let me see if I can find some information about Unicode resin. Unicool toys, Unicool plastic, game manufacturing. Seems to be a lot of stuff. Brand new material. With Unicode plastic, we can now strike the best balance between jaw-dropping details of resin and desired durability of PVC. Well, that's an article that's 3 years old. So there should be some kind of more or less long time exposure now out there. Oh, Jill is pushing text here. Not only will thematic points range introduce new materials, but the new ones, for example, I'll except the Walking Dead pack, will be in a new material. Behind the scenes, we've been investing in and extensively testing cutting-edge new 3D printing equipment that will allow us to produce limited runs of minis using master quality resin. This is the same kind used for the pieces we created in our master molds around strong, flexible, and far beyond what you'll normally find in consumer-grade 3D print. If you speak the technical lingo, you'll be excited to know that our process will allow for us to produce this in a very premium resin at 40K print resolution and a 0.02 layer height prints. Normal speak, the minis we can produce this way are smooth without any visible clear layer lines and full of beautiful crisp details. So maybe they're using this very nice resin for masters and then to actually do the casting. All my prints are 600p. And they're on paper. If chat is now indulging in the technical chats about ones and zeros, I might get very bored. If a company starts to convince Gerry that 3D printing actually isn't that bad, I'm going to lose my mind. No, not technical chat, says Jill, who just posted 3 pages of technical details. You can't fool me. At least our chat doesn't have technical difficulties. Now, Dandy, don't start pointing fingers. You posted a fraction of a news article, true, but it had a lot of technical difficulties and details in it. Unicool Toys, I think that's the... Unicool Games was the one I referenced earlier. And why these are separate, I don't know. It's the... it's the same company. And by judging just by their front page, it's mostly toys. Oh no, I hate it. There's a chatbot that wants to talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. You're a chatbot. Go away. Oh, let's see if we can find that thing Gerry's pointing us to. Uh, 10 minutes on drop down. Where's my block? Injection molding. Artwork, prototype, pre-production copy, injection molding, meeting, mask production. Well, yeah. I think that's how most miniatures are made. Where's my camera? There's my camera back. Nick, do remind me. Is finecast the material that is commonly referred to as failcast? And let's be frank, marketing material for new production methods is always the same. Failcast. Spare mantic points? Does Gerry know that you have mantic points lying around? Well, it depends, Wonky Goblin. If the mold is flexible, you can have a bit more work in your miniature. But from what Gerry just posted, it doesn't look like they are flexible molds. I don't. I have no mantic points laying around. I'm pretty sure the last ones I've had have made their way over to Gerry with the XPS foam I sent him for Christmas a year ago. So 2023? Maybe? Perhaps? Gerry, do you really want to go start counting your mantic points? Well, they might come with everything, Jill, but since I've ordered literally nothing from Mantic, except for having a part of a large raffle I gathered years ago. Oh, so they're now going old school, collecting bonus points. I mean, fair enough. It's a viable way of getting your stuff out there, I guess. I mean, I've got the 8 terrain crate from way back when. Those have made their way to Gerry, I'm pretty sure. And I'm not sure if there was a Mantic point in the advent calendar. Were they even from Mantic? Does anybody remember the advent calendars? Were they made from Mantic? Oh no. Hmm. Ah, yes. But I can't remember that there were points included in those. I'm pretty sure there weren't. And if, then they've gone the way of the dodo. You might be wondering why I'm looking to my right. I'm asking myself, when will I ever be able to paint all that stuff? The answer is probably never. But I might need to take a few days to rearrange some boxes to get my shit together and paint some stuff. Oh, Nick is seemingly praising AK Carbon Black. Is it a black black or is it a really black black? And if it's an ink, does it work as a wash? Every time I'm watching Bulay's hobby, I'm tempted to grab myself some black 4.0 or whatever he's using for the edges of his dioramas, just to see. Oh, excuse me. If it's really that black. It's always hard to tell on camera. And why is there a weird little button screaming at me? I cannot cheer in my own channel. Well, that's annoying. Let me check something. No, no, didn't happen. It's black, black, and perfect for washing gunmetal. That's an interesting one, then. Sad thing, I feel, if you as a hobbyist buy stuff on the recommendation from anybody, you'd be doing just buying and not doing anything else. Oh, the Wonky Goblin collected all 40k minis for Orcs and Elder from 87 to 92. He painted about 50. Well, he painted more Orcs from that era that I have, and Well, I do have some painted. Well, Jill, companies might say yes. I feel like the oldest painted Orc miniature I currently possess are my second edition Orc Storm Boys. Yep, that should be around right. And if you've got the funds, buy all you want. But if you don't have the funds, buy what you really love and actually paint. Just buying doesn't give you happiness in the long run. Oh, Metal Goblin Fanatics. Those are some very nice sculpts. Yeah, if you need arms for them. I mean, everything that came, was it past 4th edition when they turned orcs to be these huge muscly types? You could get arms for those easily via the means of Bits of War and other companies. But the earlier skinny 2nd edition orc arms, I think those are getting really, really rare. Oh, are the stone trolls those with the large big ears and the big fucking hammer? Yeah, I do remember a friend of mine buying one of those as a troll stopper for a Blood Bowl team. I still regret not buying one of them as well. It's just a lovely miniature. Okay. Oh, I think that's old man syndrome. It's 22:45 and my ears are getting sleepy and my ears? My ears? Fucking hell. Kevin Adams sculpts are nice. I do like them. That being said, the stuff he's currently doing is nice as well, but I think that's beyond my price range. Should I listen to my ears? That's an interesting theory you got there. But at the same time, my sense of weight tells me this can is way too full to just leave it. Also, I think we've got some more minutes before we reach the end of the tightly scripted half an hour. We wouldn't want to be slacking off, would we? Yeah, but still, the pricing is up there. I do like the designs. That's not the problem. It's just the price tag that's attached to that is ooh-ha. But it's his art, so it's his call on what he's charging. So it's fair, but it's nothing I need. It's just something nice to have. Jill, have you come to a final conclusion on where to lead, where your hobby, no, what? Hold on. Where your time off on the weekend will lead you? If yes, congratulations, well done. The island of Jersey. Why does my mind tell me that's in the US? I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm very bad at geographical thingamajigs. What did I do now? Oh, fuck. I think I should stop drinking. I'm using wrong keyboard shortcuts. And I'm unable to spell maps anymore. Oh, look, see, there's... Oh. The Channel Islands. That should be a nice, toasty, whatchamacallit, place to enjoy your weekend. Yes, it's New Jersey, New Amsterdam, New Hampshire, New everything. They couldn't think of new names. And why would they? Plus, you're sitting on an island. That's usually where there's plenty wind and it shouldn't be too bad. Unless the winds get really annoying, and that it's going to be very bad. I'm pretty sure it didn't. I'm not sure it's about fluffing the people's egos back home. I think it was more or less really some kind of oh god, people being unimaginative, or maybe it was fluffing egos. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm old. I'm not that old. But I do hope you enjoy your trip and come back safe. A lot less stressed. Ugh. The older man is. If I fall asleep here now and just leave the camera rolling, would that count as a overnight stream? Or would that just be old fart falling asleep in front of webcam? I'm pretty sure it's the latter. Is it? I kind of feel like I remember there were some streamers actually just streaming themselves sleeping and being awake every couple of hours. That's something I need to look up. Hold on a second. Terms. Oh, Hmm. Can't find anything in the current version from 2024. Hmm. Can't find anything. Sounds more like an OnlyFans thing. Oh, I do remember that one, Gerry. I'm not going to do that now. I like my sleep. If I were single and unemployed, I might try something weird and wacky like that, but no way. Plus, Jill, I'm not sure if the terms of service for every region is the same, so there might be some kind of legal loophole, potentially. I mean, there's so many weird things on the interweb. I feel to date the weirdest thing that people make that actually makes them money is this weird behave like a NPC character. It's just bananas. What's Vines, Mr. Nick? I know Vimes, but Vines? Was it something? I don't remember. Was it something on YouTube? Facebook? Instagram? I can't remember. Or was it a completely different service? It's the Parliament channel. Zork, I hate to say it, but you make 0 sense to me today. I have no clue what you're talking about, and yeah, Nick, I do remember Vimes was some kind of short form video similar to TikTok and YouTube Shorts and stuff, face page reels, but I can't remember. Was it a dedicated service? Might have been. Oh, sleeping people in Parliament. Yeah, I've seen videos of the UK Parliament where people are sitting in the back rows just taking a nap, which is interesting way to earn your money. Yeah, but even if you're talented and you manage to do stuff into 7 seconds, I feel that's something that just uh, makes people's brains rot even faster. I mean, how much is short? It's 30 seconds max? Oh, Danley, I know the pain. And I'm happy that I've managed to get my daughter to do more or less proper research, though all the AI crap is still very much taking information and regurgitating shit. I'm afraid that we actually have a generation coming up that's based on stupidity. Good night, Wonky Goblin. Yes. Truth be told, lads, lasses, and everybody in between, I've spent my powder today. This can is almost empty, and I will now kick you out of my home. And I might upload this video tomorrow, I don't know. I thank you everybody for being here, especially Gerry joining in later in chat, and fingers crossed next week he has more time and will be rejoining me here in my little hobby cave, minus the smell. You have a good evening, have a nice weekend, and we will see each other next Tuesday. I've seems to have misplaced my go away button.